Welcome back into Weekend Joe, driven by Munganass St. Louis Acura, Munganass Burkhart, Alton Toyota. And it is a pleasure to be joined by friend of the show from CBS Sports. He is Matt Snyder. I see on the bottom the sniper. So we're making up nicknames now for those watching on YouTube.
No, I did not. One thing I'm firmly against is giving yourself a nickname. I did not name myself that. It's from our gambling show, Early Edge.
Okay.
That's on every weekday at 10 o'clock. And it was toward the start of last year. It was actually Coach back when he used to work for us. And he said, we need a nickname for Snyder. And somebody in the chat suggested Sniper. And like, it's close enough to Snyder. That works. And, gambling, you can say somebody's the sniper if they hit a lot of their plays. So just kind of stuck.
Well, Matt, the reason we're having you on, and I'm glad you mentioned gambling. We'll discuss. We get to hang out coming up here in a few days.
Yeah.
In Arlington at baseball's All-Star Game. It'll be the first time that you and I, because you didn't go last year in Seattle. So
yeah.
And
don't remind me. It was heartbroken. I've never been to Seattle, so I really wanted to go.
It was nice. I don't want to rub it in, but it was a nice ballpark, nice time out there. Is this going to be your first time at the Rangers' new stadium?
Yes. The last time, well, you'll enjoy this. The last time I was there was 2011.
Yes.
Albert Pujols become one of the only players that ever hit 3 home runs in a World Series game.
Yeah.
Joined by Pablo Sandoval the next year.
I looked, so all of the festivities, everything going on, the whatever the baseball village, MLB village, all of the past MLB players that are going to be there giving autographs. David Freese was not invited by baseball or the Rangers to go there to that. I don't think he'd be well received in the Texas area. Probably same with like a Madison Bumgarner too. I don't think he'd be well received down there either in Texas. They lost a World Series to them too, right? The Rangers did, yeah. So
back-to-back years,
yeah. So not the greatest World Series memories for those down in Texas. But Matt, you and I were doing this Friday afternoon about 2 hours ago. Big news in regards to the All-Star Game. Paul Skeens announced as the National League starting pitcher. 5th time a rookie has been the starting pitcher for the All-Star Game. First time ever that it's been this soon after he's been drafted. It is just outstanding news for baseball, having a star that they can hopefully try to market and make him into the face of baseball, and they'll use these next few days to do so.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. If you look at the American League lineup, it's completely loaded. I assume they'll bat Juan Soto second, Aaron Judge third. So we're going to have Skeens against 2 super duper star Yankees. That's going to move the needle a little bit. Maybe Gunnar Henderson leading off. Hopefully not Steven Kwan, because he's great, but it's just not as sexy as like Gunnar Henderson, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge. Maybe Yordan Alvarez fourth if it gets there. It will be really, really cool to see. His stuff's off the charts ridiculous. And we got lucky there was already buzz, and I wrote about it for Monday after they named all the reserves and the pitchers on Sunday night. I wrote about who I would pick to be the starting pitchers, and I took Skeens in the National League. And the point was, he's an up-and-coming superstar. He's arguably the best pitcher in baseball already. If you look at just stuff from the starting pitching side. And we need to make him as big of a star as possible in the national spotlight. There's probably a lot of fans nationally who haven't even seen him pitch before. And then he went out and he threw 7 no-hit innings. That was just perfect timing. Chris Sale was probably the other good option, but he got pushed back from Monday to Tuesday, which lands him to start on Sunday. So he's ineligible to pitch in the game. So everything just kind of lined up perfectly.
Right. And from a marketing standpoint, I guess you could argue Amanaga as one of the starters, Ronaldo Lopez as one of the starters, but again,
that just doesn't have the same cachet.
No, and this is something I brought up earlier. So you remember Colorado in 2021. Baseball kind of made that whole thing, the whole spotlight around Shohei.
About Ohtani. Yep.
He led off. He was not the best National League pitcher, but they named him the starter because that made the headlines.
It's an exhibition game.
Yeah, they got him to do the home run derby that year too. So everything was all Shohei that day. This is what you have to do with this. When you have the opportunity, when it presents itself, you do that, and everything too. I mean, he has just been as good as advertised. I know that Pittsburgh isn't going to be the most pressure situation to be thrown into, but every one of his games is him. He has the spotlight on him, and it's being shown on MLB, and they're doing drop-ins. And I mean, I sat there and watched it yesterday with my son. I just turned it on the first inning. We watched him, checked in about 20 minutes later, and it was like, oh shit, he's still throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah.
In this game. And this is, I mean, he's locked in. I mean, the second game that he pitched up in Wrigley, we drove up there. We drove up there that afternoon to go watch him pitch. And I figured, might as well, and sure enough, that's game he went 6 innings, no hits, 10 strikes. Yep. And it's just been a lot of fun to watch this guy who I think we all think one day might need Tommy John do what he's doing this early in his career.
Yeah, I have a frustration with him getting pulled yesterday, 99 pitches, but he only threw 6 pitches in the 7th inning. It's like, man, can't you just let him run back out there for the 8th and see if he's that efficient again? And if he is, then can't you try to run him out there for the 9th and just see? I did a long form piece earlier this season on CBSSports.com where I interviewed 5 different orthopedic surgeons, and they all said the way that we have these injuries happen is a career of use. There's no magic number on any given outing. It's just use. So, for example, obviously 50 pitches is way worse on your arm than 25. 60 is way worse than 50. 70 is way worse than 60. So, yes, 99 pitches, once you get up into 100, that's definitely worse for your arm than like 80. But when he's already done that, it doesn't exponentially ratchet up the risk of injury to have him go to 110 instead of 99. It just doesn't. There's no evidence whatsoever that all of a sudden there's a huge injury risk just because he went over a certain pitch count threshold. There's just no evidence for it.
No, and at the age of 22, I mean, you would imagine muscles, tendons, everything is matured to the point where
and he's a big, strong dude. I mean, he's not spindly like Steven Strasburg or Chris Sale. He's huge. Yep. And that has to factor in at least a little bit. I mean, right. I interviewed him personally, and that was, I think, the second smallest I've ever felt other than when I was next to Aaron Judge. I think he was standing 2 steps below me in the dugout, and I was still like eye to eye with him.
Yeah, it's huge. And he hasn't skipped a leg day, too. You can tell that he is built built for the long haul in Major League Baseball. So we will see that showcased. Can't imagine what the media circus is going to be like around him on Monday for the press conference and everything that he is going to be in front of there. So we'll get to see that.
Yeah, we'll
firsthand. Yeah. On Monday, the other things too, as you kind of roll through everything going on this next week, we have kind of a new home run derby format. They've changed things up just a little bit in the home run derby on Monday. And Matt, I don't know about you, but that's my favorite event of the week. To just sit there and watch bomb after bomb after bomb, and then try to also go into areas where I can see the balls land up close. I will do that, but I won't bring a glove. I will just stand out there stupidly and watch 100-mile-an-hour missiles be hit my way. But the new format this year, 40 pitches or the time limit, 4-minute rounds, and they're getting away from the brackets in the first round too. No, I mean, the names for the home run derby, not the greatest list of names that has been thrown out there, but you still hope that these guys can put on a show.
Yeah, I wanted like O'Neal Cruz and Ellie De La Cruz. Adolis Garcia is a great pick because I love having a home guy in there, especially if he makes
a deep run. To.
I don't know if you went to Cincinnati, but when Todd Frazier won at the buzzer, that was the best home run derby I've ever been to. Bryce Harper in DC winning it was amazing in front of the home fans. So you hope for the home guy to have a deep run. So hopefully Adolis it hits really well and has a deep run there. But I thought the last few years without a clock, it had gotten almost unwatchable. I can still picture like Jose Bautista sitting there taking like 8 pitches before he swings every single time. And when I was in Minnesota, and I was like, this is dreadful, dude. This is unwatchable. Whoever decided to put a clock on it, I want to just give them a big hug because they saved the event. It's amazing now. I think about Cleveland was probably the best one with Vlad putting on the show, and they had several buzzer beaters. Vlad had to go to like triple overtime who was it against? Jock? I think it was against Jock Peterson.
Yeah,
Was
that was my
amazing.
first. The Cleveland
Yes.
one was my first one that I
was
ever
so
went
good.
to. Yeah, and that was the one where I kind of realized I had just had ACL surgery, so I was on crutches, and Ben Boyd and I made our way into the bleachers right in front of the bullpens out there in Cleveland, like right up against the wall. We worked our way up there,
Oh, kind of in the
and
center. Yeah.
yeah, and Pete Alonso put one a couple feet from us, and that's when I realized I'm a dumbass. I need to get out of here.
You could be in a big crowd because then everybody puts their hands up and you're never going to get hit cleanly with it. You know, like everybody's hands kind of absorb the
Yeah.
ball and then it's not. But yeah, if it's just you, it's pretty tough.
So that it was pretty stupid to do that, but nonetheless, watching that, yeah, that was a fun one. And then in Colorado, just standing out in the back, where like the concession stands are out in left field behind the stands, and you cannot see the field, you can't see the hitter, and you're just looking up in the sky waiting to see that ball just kind of appear out of there.
Well, and there was another good one. Just speaking on the clock thing that makes it cool. I think it was Matt Olson hit one like right at the buzzer that was just foul, and if it would have been fair, it would have tied up whoever he was playing. Like again, that's just how cool it is with the clock.
He almost hit me with one. That was the year they put us.
Yeah.
That was the year in Colorado where they put us in right
Yes.
field in there, and he hit the chair 2 seats away from me.
That's right. I remember.
That was also the one where the guy flipped over the stand. Do you remember that? Where the guy tried to catch it and he flipped over the entranceway into like the out into the concession area.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he was trying to catch it and hanging over, and he flipped over the guardrail. Not far. Like, I mean, he fell like 5-6 feet. But still, I know Ben got really good video of that, and it ended up going viral when he when it happened. So that was that was another quality moment in All-Star game history. Is there anybody that has made the team this year that you are looking forward to getting to talk to this year?
I know we're right up against it, but I actually haven't done all my prep yet. I was gonna sit down tomorrow and kind of run through everybody. I mentioned him earlier because he's one of my favorite players, but Ellie De La Cruz is someone who comes to mind. It'd be nice to see him make a run at 100 stolen bases. We haven't seen that in a long, long time, and we've hardly ever seen it. So he probably will end up toward the top of my list.
Yeah, that's one. I think he'll have a lot of people around him. I know he's already made the comments about that he's learning Japanese to be able to talk to Shohei in the dugout.
Wow.
Yeah, he's trying to just learn as quickly as possible, learn conversational Japanese just so he can go up and talk to Shohei.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's so to kind of show you that the awe is still there, and the fact that Shohei's switching dugouts this year. He's going from the League side to the National League side, so there will be some people that he's played against a few times over the last few years that he will get to see up close there. But you mentioned Ellie De La Cruz. He's part of that. He's part of this shortstop group in the National League right now. Here in St. Louis, I know Mason Wynn is kind of been considered maybe a low end snub for the All-Star game when you look at who their second player could have been if they would have gotten to. And I think right now with Wilson Contreras being hurt for half the season, he would have been that kind of comes to mind with that. But when you look at how deep the shortstop position is in the National League right now, you mentioned Ellie De La Cruz, O'Neal Cruz, Trey Turner, you have Mookie Betts, you have all of these names in the National League that Mason Wynn's really good, and he's a rookie, and he's done some incredible things this year, but that's a lot of competition.
Yeah, and the AL side's got Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson to compete with the old guard like Corey Seager and Carlos Correa. It's a golden era of shortstops right now. So, yeah, I mean, Ellie De La Cruz had to be in the game. O'Neal Cruz, you could make an argument there. He's one of the most exciting players there is, and on any given day, he could go 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts and make 2 errors, but he could also sometimes hit 3 bombs and steal a few bases. Like, he's a dynamic player. So it's a loaded shortstop field. I mean, Francisco Lindor didn't make it. There's an argument that he deserved to make it. It's just a really loaded class. And Trey Turner, I know Trey missed a decent amount of time, but he's played like an MVP. when he's been healthy this season. So he's a no-brainer to start for me. And even injuries have taken away. Like Xander Bogaerts has been hurt for a while, so it's loaded.
Well, we will be there. I know we both get in on Sunday, so I will probably see you for the first time on Monday. And for those watching on YouTube right now, any interest in splitting the boomstick burger with me while we are there, Matt?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I don't know how much it costs. My guess is going to be in the $40 range. But for those that are watching on YouTube right now, looks like I'm going to guess. I mean, that looks like 2 feet of bread with burgers on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 onion rings long.
Is it chili cheese?
It looks like chili cheese with jalapenos in it too,
and pickles.
Yeah. So we eat it during the first round of the home run derby, and hopefully we're out of the bathroom by the finals for it. So that's kind of the goal with that. So we will we'll report back when we're done. So Matt, look forward to seeing you as always out there at the fields. Maybe hit up a few roller coasters as well. We have seems like we have a lot of things in the works for these next few days, along with our actual jobs too. So we'll be sure to get it all done. He is Matt Snyder. Matt, where can people follow you? Because I know you are doing a lot of different stuff right now.
Yeah, cbssports.com /MLB, or just on the video channel. I've been on HQ umpteen times this week, and I will continue to be there.
That's it. So I don't know, maybe you know this since you do a gambling show. Is gambling legal in Texas?
Oh, surely it is. I don't know. Most states is a yes. When I travel, there's only a few that don't pop up. Like, isn't New York still illegal?
I can't remember New York. I know Florida isn't.
I know I don't even think about it that much because I'm in Indiana and it's been legal here forever.
So it is in Illinois. I live on the Illinois side of St. Louis. It is not. It is illegal in Missouri still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, surely it is in Texas.
So got to figure that out before the Derby. Got to figure that out before the Derby and check out all the prop bets that are going to be available. I'm going to say this: whatever the over/under is for total home runs in the Derby, I'm going over. For that and.
The distance, when they did a distance on the last year, the distance was way too high. It was like 503.5 was for the highest distance, and nobody got to 500.
And I see it. I don't think you and I need to do our research with the stadium and figure out what the home runs are like in the stadium, the big warehouse.
And whether it's like open roof versus closed, surely it'll be closed because it's got to be so hot.
It is going to be like 98 degrees.
Yeah, so it'll be closed.
They're so hot. Yeah. So more research that you and I have to do. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you, man.
Munganess St. Louis Acura is making room for the 2025 MDX. So that means great deals for you on the 2024 MDX. We have over 100 2024 MDX models in stock, and you get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months. Or you can lease a new MDX for just $559 per month for 36 months. Or get the MDX technology model for just $589 per month for 36 months. Munganess St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.